And that brings us to a very interesting conversation today, Tabsies. Of course, we know that there are many conundrums to be faced when it comes to the parenting journey. And one of them in this modern age is whether or not it's okay to post pictures of your child on social media. So family therapist and registered social worker Kim Abrams joins us on the couch to share her professional opinion on this matter. It's great to have you back again, Kim. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. Looking right and ready for the gram.
Oh, thank you.
The lights are doing their thing.
Thanks very much.
Let's get right out of the tracks and ask the question, do you think it's okay for parents to post pictures of their child online?
It's quite a controversial topic.
Yeah.
I think it's okay only when a parent is able to use their discretion. But the thing with discretion is that it's dependent on what the person deems as what's right and what's not right.
Okay.
But one thing to remember, when you're posting a picture of your child online, you're taking a private moment and you're sharing it with the world without your child's consent. So if you think about it, how many pictures from your childhood would you rather not have shared for the world to see?
Yeah.
But nowadays, you know, it's just a photo and it's an upload. It takes less than 5 minutes. But we're doing this without our kids even saying, before sometimes they can even speak, you know, or before they're even born. So we're putting scanned pictures up, and that's got personal information on it that I don't think the public's that aware of in terms of how much we're actually oversharing.
Yeah, and as much as one embraces the, look at that picture, oh, what a beautiful moment, he or she is so cute, you've also got to be prepared for the fact that we live in a world full of internet trolls and bullies and people who might, for any given reason, choose to say the most heinous things about your child.
Exactly.
And then you've got to be prepared to deal with it, knowing that you are the one that put that content out there. Because it's not always going to be the fact or the case that you'll get a good comment with that. Why do you think parents should be careful about what kinds of pictures they post of their children? Because it's not just a matter of, you know, like the lack of consent that the child isn't giving, but there are some real dangers out there.
Yeah, they are, and it's actually quite scary. So the thing to remember is whether your account is private or not, once you upload a picture, you lose ownership of it. So, you know, it can be screenshotted, it can be shared amongst various platforms. But one of the scariest, I think, realities is that child trafficking and child pornography sites are not decreasing. We're actually making things easier sometimes for organized crime syndicates to gain access to our children. We need to be careful that when we're putting pictures up online of our kids, that we're not identifying where you live, and most importantly, where they go to school. So, you know, at the start of this every year, parents...
The first day of school, in uniform, in front of the school.
Yeah, for all to see.
A very cute moment for all to see is now a geotagged location and identification of your child.
I would say steer clear of that. You know, even if you're not taking a picture of your child in front of the school and you're still doing it outside of your home, make sure that the school logo isn't showing. That's all somebody needs to try to identify where your child is when you are not around. So if you think about how much time they spend at school and you've basically put that information online, it's quite frightening who can access it.
Absolutely. And you also think about the fact that, you know, people's children get caught up in the crossfire of pictures.
Yes.
The element of danger in doing that, in posting a picture of what you think is your child. But meanwhile, in the background, you have other people's children who don't necessarily want to have their child's images posted online. And it's a very, very important thing for people to consider. So, I'm just like, now, so when is it appropriate then to share anything online about your child?
It is appropriate to share things online that you can say categorically, if my child was ever to have sight of this when they are older, they would be okay with it. But you'd never really know what your child will be okay with once they get older. But things that expose your child, you know, that make them vulnerable, so like bath time photos and things, those do not need to be online. Those are private images. And if you think of your own bath time pictures, that if you have any from when you were younger, you wouldn't want that sprawled across for the world to see. So I think, you know, use your discretion. If you still want to put pictures up of your child, your child's face doesn't have to show. You can still share moments.
There you go.
You can put, you know, cute little emojis in front of their face or just take photos of their back, and you can still share what you're doing with them. I think parents need to question, why is it important for for everyone to see their child? Are you doing this for you to get some likes and some validation, or is this actually for your child?
And that is a very, very real question that needs to be asked and answered. We would love to actually hear from you at home, whether as parent or child who has access to social media, or maybe you were exposed to social media at a very early age and now, well, you didn't really have much of a choice, and here it is. How do you feel this entire thing should be handled? Is it appropriate to be sharing images or content of about your child on social media? Please let us know. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 would love to hear from you. We'll be chatting to Kim again very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It is a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Happy 1st of October, by the way, if nobody said it to you yet. As you can hear, that guy's rushing to get to work this morning. So early on in the show, family therapist and registered social worker Kim Abrams joined us on the couch to talk about this phenomenon of wanting to post pictures of our children online and what the dangers and the possible repercussions of that might be. And we would love to hear from you as well. So do comment on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page about this.
Kim, thank you for the first part of the discussion. It was really, really interesting. This obviously for Kat and myself and people in the public eye carries a different kind of gravitas than people who are out. And you almost have to have two separate discussions here.
Yes.
But one area where we all you can blanket it with one reality is what this means for the child. What are the dangers for the child when you are posting pictures online, psychologically, and then obviously in the broader context of people being able to see those? And I mean, you don't want to go to the far extreme, but the bottom line is predators will start online.
That's right. So that's exactly where they start, because it's easy. You know, if there's an organised crime syndicate for child trafficking, they are online. You know, they are checking things, what's been tagged, what's the easiest access for a child.
And then you can get location.
Exactly.
You can get landmark, timetable.
Yeah, so without you even realizing it, if you have your location settings on your devices, your photograph will automatically have that location tagged in it. So it's really, really vital that parents go through the privacy settings. Don't ignore those privacy notifications that you see on your apps. I know it's really easy to just go delete and I'll check it out later.
Yeah, or accept all.
Yeah, but there might be something that you have to manually adjust in your privacy settings to make sure that your profile isn't open for everyone to see. So when we're thinking longer term for a child, when we've been posting things about them online, we need to be asking, you know, again, how will my child feel reading this post? Am I complaining about them? Am I saying something about them that seems funny to me, but it might be interpreted differently to them as they grow up? You know, there's a lot of blogs, parenting blogs around, and I think it's important for parents to have access to the support, but we're often sometimes poking fun at our little ones for validation and interaction from the public. So psychologically, this can actually harm your child if they have access to it, because they're not going to know how to interpret your joke or how to interpret the reason why you felt the need to put this photo up. You know, we just come from a generation where it's easy to put photos in a box and store it away, and that's
let them turn yellow and then look at them years later.
Yeah.
But what about how does one counsel yourself off the ledge of, but it's cute? And people are going to say, oh.
I never post. I hate it. And then every now and then, I'll take a photo or a video, like especially with laughing or something like where I'm like, this makes me feel so happy. I want the world to feel happy like this.
Where do we draw the line?
Yeah, how do you,
Yeah, it's about, you need to ask yourself as the adult, who am I doing this for? Is this for my personal validation? So someone can say, oh, this is adorable, this is great, and that organically just gives you a nice ego boost. Or is it something that you want to do for your child? It's a very, very fine line. I'm not saying don't post pictures of your child, but I'm saying be careful.
But you kind of are.
Well, I think...
and it's all right to say that. I mean, you're a professional. If this is your
It's scary what goes on out there. if your child's face is exposed, that's exposed for the world to see. Like I say, whether your account is private or not. And all it takes is for someone to take a screenshot of that and put it up on a child pornography site, and then
you've lost control.
You've lost control of it. And I think when you're not exposed to this type of threatening things that are around you, you don't think about it, which is why these conversations are so important.
I just think about that article that came out a couple of weeks ago of the little girl that was kidnapped from her school in Vanderbilt Park, and then the parents got a ransom call. So very clearly these people knew who they were, what the schedule was, what the school is. Like, we have your number, and now your child is in our possession, and now we get to do whatever we want with her. Do you know what I mean? That is
scary.
That for me is the ultimate, okay, this is the reason why you shouldn't do it.
Just don't do it.
All right, but interesting conversations, and thank you very much, Kim, for joining us. Of course, you can engage with Kim on social media or online, www.kimabrams.com. And of course, we look forward to the next.
Thanks.
That was a terrifying chat, Kim. That was a terrifying chat, but very educational.